Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Divyank, the divine design of nature, which is the focus of my work with respect to impeccable wisdom of every perfect object of the universe, from perfect human anatomy, physiology, psychology to the solar system to Brahman. Now, let's start our journey from zero. Once we understand zero, Shunya, which is Atma, we'll be able to understand Divyank very clearly. We are on a divine mathematics, not on man-made concepts which human minds have created for whatever their convenience is all about. I have made one thing very clear. The Shunya or zero was not discovered by Aryabhatta or Brahmagupta in 6th or 7th century. It was there before the creation of the universe itself. Mention of this is found in direct, indirect forms throughout the world, particularly with respect to Sanatana Dharma's literatures from Vedas, Upanishads and otherwise. Now from that point, let's say Atma, the soul, the indwelling soul or Kundalini is mentioned as it cannot be cut, burnt, dissolved, disintegrated. It is insoluble, integrated, indistinguishable, inexhaustible and eternal. And that particular concept, if you try to understand in light of the scientific explanation, spirituality and science could be only in the form of noble gases, helium, neon, argon, krypton and xenon. Krypton and xenon are not stable, whereas helium, neon and argon are stable, and these three have been considered a great Atmans of the world. My indwelling soul or every individual human soul is of helium 4. The soul of the solar system is neon 21 and soul of the universe is argon 40 or Adi Prashakti. Solar system is Gayatri and human consciousness is helium which is formed in the sun. These three things are very distinct and they have played very important role. Once I understand that they are the Atma, they are the soul from which all the mathematics have originated. So in other words, it is zero from which mathematics originated. Not it was included at a later date. That is something which I want to let the world understand. All the divine mathematics came from zero. Not zero was later invented. Let this be known very clear. This was known to the Brahmins very clearly. But unfortunately or fortunately, information given about the divine wisdom has always been kept as a secret. It is meant only for the people who are in tune with universal consciousness. To understand Ved and Upanishad particularly, you got to be in tune with universal consciousness. I am glad with the help of guidance of my Antaratma Helium 4, Aditi, Goddess Gayatri, Neon 21 and Argon 40 are Adi Prashakti. They have made my understanding very clear to this level which I am talking about. Maybe there's a reason why I am talking about reincarnation in my case has been for more than 22 lives when I learned different aspects from layer by layer to reach this level. And it's been done for the first time in the history of mankind. But I do not feel the need to talk about different things, but just concept. To come to this level, you might have to learn so much. But it is never late. You can start because this knowledge is available. You might be able to experience the entire thing in one life, in this life itself, provided you understand this knowledge and be in tune with universal consciousness. Let's start with that. Now, Brihad Upanishad is one statement. This particular statement has been very, very dear to me since my childhood. I have heard it from left, right and front from all the educated people. Brahmins repeat this many times, particularly repetition of this in a movie called Guide was there when they were talking about the meaning of this. But unfortunately, the person who had counter started talking about English language and talking about it and degrading Sanskrit and the shloka is also something which I do not like. If you don't like it, accept we don't like it. But you don't have to condemn something so powerful as Purnam Adha, Purnam Idam, Purna Purnach Visheshite. There is so much information in this which has never been said, and I've been very categorical. If we understand, appreciate. If we don't understand, don't condemn. We are all learners. Shiv Bhushan Sharma is only a student. I am not a guru. I am only sharing my experience and leave it at that. But what I understand today, because of my Atma again, not because of anything else, the very concept of zero was in this particular concept itself. Meaning of this is full, that is full, from fullness proceeds fullness. Even if we take a fullness from fullness, the fullness remains fullness. This is a beautiful thing. But actually is talking about zero. Let me show in the pictures queue. Like you can see, same shloka is in Isha Upanishad by Maharishi Yajnavalkya himself. Both are by Yajnavalkya, Brihat as well as Isha Upanishad. And here you can see helium 20, neon 21 or helium or argon 40. They are like a circle. Their complete circle, outer orbit is complete. In helium it is 2 electrons. In neon it is 2 plus 8, and in Adi Prashakti it's 18, 2 plus 8 plus 8. But outer being complete, that energy is inside. So they become a shunya, empty, and everything originated from there. So you take one shunya, minus shunya, you will get shunya only. Take shunya, add shunya, you will get shunya. Divide, subtract, do whatever it is. Only in the case of shunya, a zero, it is like. This clarity is phenomenal, thanks to my Antaratma, thanks to Gayatri, thanks to Adi Prashakti for giving me the wisdom of ancient Indian time for the first time in the history of mankind, and show starting is zero. Everything is from there. Now let's now talk of the modern numeral numbers the world is using. I have given these 5 examples. I start with Brahmi, which is the ancient Indian system of writing numerals. You can see on top that is not used. From there appeared so-called Devanagari, Sanskrit or Hindu scriptures. It's made it very clear it's Hindu, but actually it's Devanagari or Sanskrit. But numbers, you start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, second is Arabic number. But if you take Devanagari, is from the left to the right we write. But in Arabic is right to the left we write. But in that is ordered, you can see. Then you see the medieval transition which went to that, and you see the modern as such. But it is said that these numerals, modern numerals, are Arabic in origin. Now I have a question. I look at the intelligence of the people who are looking at it. Are these modern numerals closest to Hindu numerals or Arabic numerals? I leave it to you. But I know you should, instead of calling it numeral, Arabic numeral, you should state back to the genius that is Hindu scriptures are Indian origin from the day one would have been most appropriate description. So I also want to challenge the world that you have given information which is not as impeccable as I want. Let us be honest from every angle. Give due credit to the world the way it should be. So coming to this, it's not Aryabhata Brahmaputra which is accepted who invented. It was not invented, it was discovered even before the creation of the world itself. So let this be clear. All numeralist numbers 1, 2, 3 started from 0. Not 0 was later. That is clarity which I am trying to give it to the world as on date. Similarly, Divyank is recognized, conceived, revealed for the first time in the history of mankind in 2015 only. This is a divine mathematics which based on simple arithmetic which Indian Brahmins, Ja Bharat of Brahmins of Akhand Bharat were known for, who gave divine mathematics, arithmetic to the world from Vedas, Upanishad to other scriptures of Bharat. Let this be clear, they are the one who conceived it for the first time in the history of mankind. From that, it is 0 to start, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. And all the mathematical calculation which could be mentally done by them were revealed by them, not with the help of calculators. Let's not talk of the concept, man-made concept, which based on calculus or internet otherwise, which are very difficult for a common man. I want to bring mathematics back to a common man's level, where a common man mentally can think, use it without the help of any calculator, is the one which is my outlook. When I talk of divine mathematics, it should be mentally possible, so simple. And when I look at an uneducated, illiterate businessman sitting shops, the kind of knowledge they have in the brain, the kind of calculation they have is phenomenal. But it's based on 4 principles: plus, minus, division and accession and simple fight. And with that they are able to do wonderful work which they do not need calculators. They are my greatest inspirers. If they can do without any school education, do a wonderful job, why we educated people are not able to do is something I'm not able to understand. So ever since my childhood, seeing my father doing it, seeing my other businessmen doing in Katra, have inspired me that I should be a mental mathematician. All the calculations should go on in my brain. And I can tell you, I have done it, I'm doing it, I'll continue to do it. That is my message to the world. Let us not depend on other things. Human brain is the greatest thing. It is capable of doing wonders, provided we start using it effectively. Misuse and disuse is not the way the world can improvise. We should use the brain, sharpen it, make it accurate. And through the different practice of different experiments over a period, we come to learn. Nothing happens in one day. Even to come to this level, it took me almost 60 years of contemplation to come to Divyank and Akhandata. Let's accept. Now that this is there, you start redesigning the whole thing from that. Now, it is also said that Zoroastrians were very keen of learning mathematics. They came to India, started learning from Brahmins, and they were from Iran, and today we call them Parsis, Persia. They knew Persia. They learnt it, they went back to Iran, then they taught the whole same mathematics to Arabs. That Arabs learned this for reason well known to them. They could not perceive divine mathematics which Indian Brahmins have learnt, even Zoroastrians could understand, but they used it to convert into algebra, algorithms, things like that in the West. And the Arabs taught that to the West, and West converted to man-made format, patented it, and today the entire world's mathematics is man-made. Physics, chemistry, biology and other subjects are designed on the man-made mathematic format. And I'm saying it's very complicated. It is not for a common man. It cannot be applied. And we should have a mathematics which every person in the world should be able to use it effectively to make a difference to the self and make a difference to the world. We need that, and that is Divyank. Very simple. First stage of creation, 22 by 21, 10 stages of development, and 0.34419 as the third stage of maturation, and equivalent to 1.618034. It's a simple concept. But once you understand all the 4 concepts clearly, then understand Divyank ratio, they understand Divyank sequence, they understand infinity, they will not be at all difficult at all. But you need to understand how to do this mentally. And I'm giving the examples which should be easy for the world to understand. Now come to, as I told you, Divyank is the divine design of nature, which is a mathematical science of nature. Leave it. Mother of all the sciences is mathematics. Language of nature is mathematics. So we got to come back to divine mathematics, Divyank, for all the answers. Now how I conceived Divyank, how it was unfolded to me step by step is something which I like to share. So the others see, if I can do it, it could have been done by anyone before me for thousands and thousands of years. But anyway, history cannot be changed. History is that this is revealed for the first time in 2015. Let us accept it. I'm only insisting. Now, to understand the divine mathematics now. Now I'm coming to the divine mathematics, which is the perfect object of the universe are created. Brahmand, solar system, spiral galaxy, as well as human body, all structured objects which are perfect in nature, or we are going to talk about it. I'm not talking of the relative world. Let's accept the fact. There are two concepts which stand out to start with as far as the world is concerned. One thing which is called Fibonacci sequence, which was defined as such by Fibonacci in 1202. But fact it was not he who conceived it. It was conceived by Brahmins of India. Before that, Pingala in 450 BC itself. That means almost 2500 years ago. And he called it Misra Cha. The members are mixed, two members. The first and second added together to leading to third one. That is the concept. He spoke about it 2500 years ago. Not Fibonacci 1200, which is almost 1300 years later. But then other mathematicians also spoke about it, variation of two numbers, etc. But clean, as the West knows, it is Fibonacci or Leonardo Pisa. Let's stick to that, this particular number. He gave it. That's it. Now he made it very, very clear. He got this number from Indian series. And this is an example from his book. This is of Indian origin. So one thing is very clear. The Fibonacci sequence originated from India 2500 years ago, started classified by Pingala itself. And examples were given is this particular picture from internet has been taken. If they take the stem, there is one. Then there are two branches. Then how they divide into 1 into 2, 2 into 3, 3 into 5, 5 into 8, 8 into 13 into 21. If you see 1 to 27, 21, there are 7 stages. But original here is 0. 0 means it all comes from the seed. That seed is 0, which is origin. That is also something which I want to make it very clear. Even Fibonacci sequence starts from 0. It does not start from 1. It was a seed, bij, from which 1 has come. That is also to be given credit to the Indian Brahmins. They did a wonderful job. That's one part. Second thing, same reflection, and you can see aloe vera plant, how the petals go in the same direction. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, etc. going up to 144. Same thing in pine cone, you can see in both ways is the same story. If you take the upper one, you can say 10 stages. If you see the other one, you see the spiral. How beautiful is this picture once you start. That is the reason I said, for 7 years, let children see all this nature's beauty in true form without giving them condition. Let them observe. Encourage them to do this kind of training in different things. Train them with objects. Let all the 64 arts be given to them and let them find it out. And then look for themselves in a very analytic way. Things will be wonderful. Now in lily flower also you can see the spiral is going the same direction. Is another beautiful picture. Now I have added this particular picture from my example. If you take the palm and wrist part, that is also in Divyank ratio. And if you see the 1, 2, 3 and 5 plus 8 is also in the same Fibonacci sequence, or I call it now DIVYANK sequence. Let's make it very clear. I would call it DIVYANK sequence because I'm making it much more clearer in many more applications, and I think I'm fair enough within my own rights to give it a name which I like, which is connected with DIVYANK alone. That's it. Now, sunflower is another something which clear. Now, in this particular picture, you are seeing another picture within the picture, and that is the picture of spiral galaxy on one side, and the way the rain, the storm goes in the ocean also is the same story. So now I'm converting this picture from spiral into another form in which you see the Fibonacci sequence or DIVYANK sequence very clearly been defined. Now from that picture to this picture, now you can see what I mean. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. You can see the same thing going step by step but what is important in this is the integrating number which comes out is of a golden ratio, they call it as a 1.618. I am not going to call it golden ratio. I would again call a concept called 1.618. And now spiral galaxy, you can see the same picture, and below on the earth whirlpool also you say story. It's amazing. And if macrocosmic universe is like that, and microcosmic, even mini cosmic is same, and that is again something which I want to show. All perfect objects from spiral galaxy to solar system to human anatomy to DNA and right to sodium and chloride thing is with DIVYANK ratio only. That's it. Because this is nature design, and that is what gives us the balance of eternity completely. So I'm bringing it to applied part, mathematics. We need mathematics which is divine, which is application, not the complicated one which a common man cannot apply. I want divine mathematics for a common man to understand in application, to understand simple things as simply as is the great genius of nature. I am bringing it to that level of understanding. Now, on this particular picture from 0, now I am taking you to this particular picture which was discovered from Ayodhya when old building was demolished and Supreme Court gave the order you can dig what was inside that building. And this was one of the objects which appeared from that particular down part where temple of Sri Ram is made today. But this particular picture, let's understand. It was written that this particular picture cannot be understood and appreciated by anyone because how 13 spirals inside and 29 outside could be made, which are prime numbers from 360. And I have given the answer. This was done by Maharishi Yajnavalkya 5000 years ago, and he was a master of mathematics because his father-in-law Rishi Katyan was a mathematician. He learned from him about pi, and he said pi is 22 by 7 equivalent to 3.142857. But now, since that information is not there, please take it from me, that is a fact by and large. And Pythagorean theorem, what we know, was known to him 5000 years ago itself. That is thing which is seen in his book and Sthapna Brahmana. Once we go back to the ancient, we'll understand how beautiful the concept was. Now I'm not going to detail, information is there. Let's proceed to the next stage. Now in this particular picture, you can see there is 0 in the center, which even the rishis, the so-called the seers who are involved with Ayodhya temple, did not see. Now I am going to, for their sake, take this picture completely and say how beautiful is knowledge embedded in it. It is not a making of 13 and 29 petals, which is an issue, which a child could have done with Sapna. That I have made it. But now I am talking about something which is divine mathematics, but for that you need to have intelligence of the knowledge by and large. Nothing is built overnight, you learn to use it. And I have done that on mathematics. I am not a mathematician of modern maths. I don't understand algebra, I don't understand geometry, I am a medical man. So I am not trained, I am glad I am not trained in that. But now I am trained to use intelligence to understand. Now in this picture I see 0 in the center. They are from this creation kind, from this the seed came. From this the whole world has come. Then go to the second stage. You see there are 7 around it. That shows the significance of number 7. 1 divided by 7 is thing which is equivalent to 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7. This is again greatest discovery of the world when it comes to number 7. So this was second thing which people had not even noticed it. Now let's go to the next stage. The 13 is made of the 2 components. I see 13 as 5 plus 8. When you see 5 plus 8 is the ratio of Divyank ratio, 5 in a sequence, is a part of 5 in a sequence. How beautiful. Now go to the next stage. 29 is not made of 29 parts, but it's talking about moon. If Shunya is Surya, and then moon is 29. But moon is also divided into components, which is 3 plus 5 plus 8 plus 13. This is again the Divyank ratio. And they add up to 29. And actually the moon's system is 29.5 days, but half ascending and descending puts it that way. It's a so phenomenal knowledge. This is the kind of training which we need for student, but unfortunately the people who are talking about man-made mathematics, they could not see. Engineers could not see, mathematicians could not see, artists could not see, architects could not see it. But I am not a mathematician. I am not an architect. I am not an engineer. I am not trained into any of those things. But I could see it. How did I see it? Because I know divine mathematics. I can see the pattern. My Atma is able to make me understand. My communication with Atma in me is so beautiful. But I know all the people who talk of, they have inner consciousness which they can communicate. They are put into split personality, schizophrenia, bipolar disorders, and whatever doctors are doing, giving them drugs and killing them. They don't, before they realize the real beauty of it, with the drug they made like a vegetables. That is again something which I am making it very clear. Split personality, schizophrenia, bipolar disorders, autism, and all these people who have extra energy, lot of ojas and tejas, can be super intelligence if you encourage them to use it to go to the wisdom which happened. I was being a doctor. I was also told to take drugs because of this. I said nothing doing. There is nothing wrong with me. I am perfectly healthy. I got saved. I am able to reach because I did not take drugs. I don't take non-vegetarian. I don't take alcohol. I don't take anything which can kill my mind. I want my mind to be perfect. I want my mind to be in tune with universe. I want to be intelligent, buddhisali, intuitive. And for that, you need extra ojas and tejas. And you could have a double personality within you. I, Shiv Bhushan Sharma, one. My Antaratma, in the technical terms of the universe, I could be called schizophrenic. I could be called bipolar disorder. I could be called into any of those things. And like Dr. Nosh, who got a Nobel Prize for a wonderful thing he did. But he was again called schizophrenia, killed. And I see things being happening left, right and front. And I don't want that to happen. I would like to make the children understand. Let them understand without drugs what exactly they are trying to understand. And I'm sure they will be able to do wonders. Super intelligent. That's also a point which I'm making it very clear. Don't make schizophrenic, split personality, autism as underrated problems. They are assets. But they need world to understand and make them understand what they are talking about. You are not giving, before even talking about and making them realize, express, you are killing them with drugs. That is something which I am making very, very clear. Now, coming to my experience, Shunya within myself. And I say, I can see my Antaratma in my ventricles of the brain. I have also seen light around me when I started seeing the light rising within to reaching up to throat level itself. I have experienced Brahmanadi, I have experienced Brahma Granthi, I have experienced Vishnu Granthi, I have also experienced Rudra Granthi. I have seen all what is written in Tantra Vidya. But anyone who is in Tantra Vidya, unfortunately, is classified as someone who is interested only sex and things like that. And I do believe it is to make you super intelligent. It's like sex to super consciousness is the thought of Tantra. That is definitely defective, and defective. That's also I criticize. Ojas is testosterone, but ojas can be converted to estrogen to be used as intelligence, the brain as a tejas, intelligence. That transmutation of testosterone into estrogen to ojas to tejas to make yourself super intelligent is what Tantra Vidya is all about. Not anything other than that. And because I am in tune with intelligence from my childhood, my brain's effective. There's no block in any of the 108 chakras or pulse chakras. All the nadis are clean. I could experience the beauty. But when I explained this concept to the teacher who conducted, he said, don't tell others, they will think you are mad. And I laughed. But this picture made me transfer Gayatri into Ojas, then to Akhand, to what today is a beautiful journey. It took me 20 years, but it's worth it. But I did not let anybody disturb my consciousness. No non-vegetarian food, no alcohol, no drugs, nothing of that nature. I put my foot down. They are unnatural, unnatural, unnatural. I don't take any drug, but I'm perfectly healthy. That's one part. Then experiencing Kundalini within the body. Ida, Pingla, Sushmana Nadi I have seen, Vani Nadi I have seen, Surya Nadi I have seen, Chandra Nadi I have seen, Brahma Nadi I have seen, ventricles I have seen, Vaikuntha I have seen. And people have difficulty in understanding three sides of the dimensions of the world, length and breadth itself. And Einstein is given too much a concern for 4 time and space. With my eyes, I am able to see 10 plus dimensions simultaneously. They are like electronic microscopes, not like compound microscope. I can see 21, 22 parts of the different concept within my brain itself. But when I tell something, it is not possible. Just because you are not being able to doesn't mean people have not been able to do. Brahmins were doing it earlier. Maybe after many reincarnation, a Brahmin is born with knowledge which has saved me with the help of Aditi, Gayatri and Adi Parashakti completely. Let me stick to these three which are Antaratmas. Have given me the experience. Now I am able to do what Vedas and Upanishads had given beautifully thousands of years ago into the form which can be applied mathematics for today's to remove all the problems of the world. This was a beautiful example in 1992, which is 32 years, another 1993, which is 31 years. It's a phenomenal. And because I had experienced it within my body, but nobody accepted it, I said it doesn't matter because I'm not depending on anybody for anything. I'm a doctor. I know there's nothing wrong with me. Many people have walked out, but it doesn't matter. Their problem, not my problem. I'm comfortable in everything and everything. That is something which I want to share the world with the kind of wisdom which we know as applied mathematics. Divyank is applied mathematics. The man-made algebra, geometry, theorems are not applied at all. They might be computers, defective ones, but I want human brain to conceive, perceive and move on. That is what Divyank is all about. Now, from that point, I have come to the stage when I made Gayatri first and then understood animate form of the Dattatreya, goddess, semi-animate form. and then converted this picture into this particular picture was another question which my Antaratma gave it to me. I asked a question, you seem to be know A to Z everything. If you can make me convert this animate and semi-animate Akhand into a form which is totally mathematics, geometry, without any confusion, same concept can be seen. You can see both pictures are identical. Lower three are Dattatreya, are Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, Mata Vaishno Devi, are Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. On top you have 5 pentagons, mean Panchbhutas. And in between you can show 4 others. It's almost identical. It's identical. Nothing other than that. But how was this formed? As I told you, started from 0. I was made to make a 0 first and then convert 9 points in the 0. You can see it very clearly. Symbol of 10 digits, 0 to 9 is this. Then 1 divided by 7 is a concept which is equal to 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7. Then I was made to connect 1 with 4, 4 with 2, 2 with 8, 8 with 5, 8 with 5 with 7, 7 with 1. This particular picture which appeared was the second step I was made to design. Then I was asked to add Shakta triangle, which is 3, 6 and 9 to that. So 6 plus this became this particular picture. It is called Enneagram, which West knows very well. And they call it male god. They do not know about female god. So 9 was complete with 0 in this particular picture. What I was made further to go, add one female triangle, a Shakti triangle, to that particular thing and made it a point. 10, 11 and 12, you can see it very clearly. This is the goddess, the Shakti. Male god and female god only then complete. That's why the 12 is very important. 24 is important. 12 Rashis are important. 12 hours of the day important. 12 hours of the night are important. Gayatri 24 meters is important. Those applied mathematics started appearing very clearly. It was so simple. It was easy for me to comprehend the beauty of it and convert that into this. Let me take it further. Then I was made to add 0 in the center, so the outer 0 is bring in together. But this picture also made me realize, then you're looking from astronomy point of view, 3 big organs, heavenly organs, were Moon, asteroid belt and Titus near Jupiter were prominent. They made me understand Navagraha better, and why in Navagraha you don't have earth element. You have Rahu and Ketu, what they represented, and what is the knowledge of Rahu and Ketu given in ancient scriptures became clear. And that is something which I am talking about in my books. This is applied mathematics. Now let's go to the next one. Now the whole thing finally converted into this is the form which you can finally see. The core integrated is Sun, Tat Savitur Varenyam, the white inside. Goddess Gayatri, Dattatreya, everything is there, what in that form. I thought that was a phenomenal opening for me to take it to the next level. This is applied mathematics. This is Divyank. This is Antaratma can give it to you. And you have a problem with second spirit within you. You call it split personality. Dr. John Nash, you have split personality. Because he has the Russian thing, he is able to decode, you want that. But you have a problem. And when he is not able to understand, you start drugging him, giving medicines, do insulin injections, and also give ECT, etc. You kill him. In spite of that, 6 years later, he gets a Nobel Prize for what governing address he gave in Princeton University way back in 1937 itself. That is the knowledge which we have to accept. But I know world finds it difficult because they are angry and you can't understand that. You better kill it. But I think you should let those children understand what exactly they are trying to do. I'm sure we'll be able to find a way without drugs. Now, this concept of 22, 21, I have seen in that. Earth is made of 7 parts, Antariksh is made of 7 parts, there are 7 heavens. So, entire solar system is made of 21 parts, is something which I have seen within my own eyes. And this is what I have seen. And Bhur Bhava Swa to the 22 step is Brahmalok, and that is where the first stage of creation comes up. If you look at under compound microscope, a cell is made of only 3 parts: cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. But when you look under electron microscope, you can see cell membrane is also made of 7 parts. There's 7 organelles in cytoplasm and 7 parts of the nucleus which are important. Those are 21 parts in the cell itself. So is the solar system. So is the universe. To take the first stage in, one part has to become 2. I have already explained. It is cytosome, which gets into 2 centrioles, not nucleus otherwise. We need that kind of precise knowledge, not confusing knowledge which has doubts in it. I am explaining that one by one. And over a period, let's have a complete document for the world to see. This is what is going to be taught from school, college to the university for every student as a contribution from Shiv Bhushan Sharma. That's the day I would like to see. Then we are through to a very high level of super intelligence. Now, I'm now coming back to Maharishi Yajnavalkya. Very clearly, 5,000 years ago itself, he worked on pi. And I'm sure he had 3.142857 only, which I am talking about. Let me also put together very clearly, even Chinese had come to this conclusion of 3.142857 only. Chinese had done it. Brahmins had done it. The West did not. But they are trying to find infinite number of confusing digits which are defective. Hats up to Brahmins, hats up to Chinese. From that concept, I agree. Chinese have done it. I go on record. But now I am taking it to one step. Maharishi Yajnavalkya talked about pi, which is 22.7, the number. But I am dividing that into 1 by 3rd. So 22 by 21 is 1/3 of the pi. Because everything is further divided into 3 parts, that's how the creation comes. Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, 3 integral parts of Srishti. They are not 2 independent 3 gods. First stage of creation is Brahma, which is equivalent to 20 by 21. 10 stage development, and that we have to understand Sanatana Dharma, where Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh in the form of Dattatreya we understood, not as a 3 independent fighting with each other. The confusion which it created in the realms of spirituality in India itself. I need to undo that also at the same time. I am not criticizing the West. I am criticizing Indian Brahmins itself. You are born Brahmin, but you have become Shaivites, Vaishnavites, Buddhist, Jainist, this and that. This religion, that is. Why do you need religion? When you know the concept called Divyank, you know Dattatreya, you know Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, you know Vedas and Upanishads, which never divided. There was no religion at this stage. Why are we encouraging religion to divide us and divide into pathetic state of mind? From that, this particular thing makes a lot of statement. Now, this particular picture was designed. Sri Chakra is one of the oldest things. But in this picture is again, I have shown in the center there are triangles. There are 43 triangles. Not 41, 42 or 44 or 45. Exactly 43. And there are some sets. One is 22, another is 21. The real beauty of Sat Chakra is you have that Brahma's creation there. 22 by 22 equivalent to 41 to 43 is what is there. 21 plus 22 is 43. Let's leave it at that. And that's the beauty of this, because Brahmank of 22 by 21 in the form of triangle is there in this particular thing. This is also something which I've shown, and I'm glad my video on Sri Chakra and this particular concept being recognized day by day as a phenomenal knowledge. Maybe later, and I'm going to make more elaborate for 1 hour, describing things in detail, things would be even better. Let's wait and see how things start improving more and more applied in nature. Now, having understood this concept, now I have shown this picture again. Brahman, a universe picture is there. Then Fibonacci sequence or Divyank ratio is there. Then I am also talking about Shankh, which is also in the same direction. But this is how I started seeing the divine mathematics in applied form in creation by and large. Whatever in 3 is almost, it is identical, not almost, it is identical, that's it. Now come to the golden ratio. They say from Fibonacci sequence, golden ratio is 1.618, you can see, or you can see the down particular thing. And I say both are wrong because they are not ratios, they are concepts. 1.61 is a number, that's it. 1.618033988 is also a number, a concept, a constant, but not a ratio. I want that also the wisdom to understand. When you call golden ratio, there should be two numbers. 1 into 1.618 would have been fine, but not as 1.618. It is also something which I want the world to understand. Use the words appropriately. That's it. But both the numbers are not most approximate decimal values of golden ratio itself. This is how the concept is. First to second, the formula, but they are defectives. They are not ratios. Leave it at that. Now, one particular concept which I have come to realize, infinite digits is not right because every perfect object has a limited numbers. We should talk of the limited numbers, not infinite. Every object has got finite because objects are limited. So we should have minimum 3, 4, 5 or 6 digits only, which we can easily remember mentally. 1.61 is right, but it's not a perfect number. So what is a perfect? We shall try to see in the next one. I would say Divyank ratio is precise. It has two components. Shakta component, which is core, is 38.1966%, and dynamic Shakti component is made of 5 parts, which is 61.8034. Now the symbol, I am showing the mathematical design. Center is 3 parts and total is 5 parts. That is 3 into 5 is a Divyank ratio only. Now let me talk to you about Divyank ratio. I am taking golden ratio out. Now I am calling Divyank ratio from Divyank. Their perfect value is 1 into 1.618034. Now I have 1 into this. This is ratio. That's what I mean. We should be precise and concise. This is ratio. That was not ratio. And perfect value is 61.8034 and 38.196%. The beauty is square of the 61.80 is 100 times the value of the first one, is amazing. When they are put together, they equal to 100. Then square of the first is equivalent to 100 times, is amazing. That kind of precision is not seen in any other ratio in the world, is also something which I am putting across. You need to have outstanding, impeccable wisdom, not confusing, doubtful otherwise. Is this a coincidence or is a perfect divine design? Is question which everybody should ask. And I say, it's a divine design, it's not mine. I am glad my Antaratma, Aditi, Gayatri and Adi Prakshit are able to. But instead of me being diagnosed as a split personality, schizophrenia, confusing, etc., which many people did, I said, it is your ignorance that you don't understand the beauty. Don't call it. And I had the guts to tell anybody, you are ignorant and you are calling people names when you don't really know their beauty. Whereas I am able to help many of the schizophrenia, split personality and those suffering and get the best out of from them. Because they're brilliant. But to understand, you have to be brilliant. When you are a Dumbo, you are calling intelligent people Dumbo. It's a very misfortunate part. And I want that also to be rectified. Now, Divyank ratio I have told is a particular picture of pentagon which is there. There are few colors. The red color is 1.618. The green is equivalent to 1. The blue is 61.8034 and the violet is 38.196. It's a beautiful picture which is from internet, and I found Divyank sequence over there, and I call it sequence, although I have written a ratio, a symbol, but actually it's Divyank sequence. Now, how did I develop this? Got a particular number of 1.6180. Now, I'm going to explain with something which could have been done by any intelligent person before me. I made a square of 100 into 100. That's step 1. Then converted that into two parts. 50 into 100 plus 50 into 100. This picture you can see very clearly was the second step which I did. And it is my Antaratma which is telling me, I am not doing, I am only a faithful instrument. I make it very clear. I have the split personality, but I am I am able to listen to that. I am use that knowledge to bring the wisdom to the world. I am not suffering split. I have the great wisdom within me. But how to convert wisdom? You got to be in tune with that wisdom. That's it. Now coming to the next one. Keeping on ancient Indian wisdom of Maharishi Yajnavalkya again. Sthapana Parinama again. Pythagorean theorem which was there 5,000, 6,000 years in India. Based on that, right angle I converted into line from upper right to the down, converted into a triangle inside, which is right angle triangle. And that was the starting point, the stage third. Now you have in the right bottom 50 into 50, right 100 into 100. Based on these two, I calculated hypotenuse as 111.8034. That was a phenomenal improvement, and with that I went to the next step to convert that into rectangle. 1.111.83, I made a circle, and from middle to this, and then converted whole thing to one picture, and I got Divyank rectangle as the ratio of 100 into 161.8034. That was phenomenal improvement in understanding applied mathematics, which divinity knows, and you are in tune with divinity, and you can do it. That's it. Now this is the picture, it's very clear. Now I know this is the number which is the perfect number of the divine nature with Divyank rectangle 100 into 161.80. Complete mystery was dissolved. Now I have applied number now very clearly. This is this. Now that was the first step of unlearning the things and relearning something with a perfect impeccable wisdom, which is a phenomenon. And I'm sure to say this could have been done by any other person other than Shiv Bhushan Sharma before also. But you need to apply that in day to day, which was not done. And that, let's accept the fact that is it. Now that you have this particular number, now you can move on to the next stage to clarify it further. Now I have this picture I made into this concept for a summary part so that I can use it at later as a reference or saransh or essence. Now come to the stage, the 10 plus stages of Divyank ratio. So 1 after 100 into 100 is bit critical. Then I put a semicircle triangle within that. It's the first step. Then second step is another triangle of 61.8034. If first is 100, second is 61.8034. Now a concept comes 6183 is a divine infinite number. Now I'm showing if you're looking at infinity, either it is 0 from which starts, or if you're looking at a number is 61.8034. That is the perfect one. Now you are seeing the involution part of that in 10 stages. This first, second. Now come to third is 38.1966 units. Go to fourth is 23.6068. Then fifth is a number 145898 units. Then comes 90170 units. Then come to 5.57828 units. Then come to 3442 number. Then you come to 2.2186 units. but 1.31156, and then you come to 0.8130, the number you have come less than 1. But in 10 steps you have come to up to 1, but 11th is beyond. And this is what shows, and all the numbers are divided only by 61.8034 only. So that is the defined infinity constant which I am talking about it. You can call it Anant divinity infinity, by and large is 61.8. What a beautiful knowledge is appearing, an applied part. The British people made a movie, The Man Who Knew Infinity, but he could never prove it. But here you have a number from 100 down 10 stages you come to this. But when you go to expansion, it can go on infinite number without merging, diverging and converging at any stage in any form, which no one in the world other than Shiv Bhushan Sharma has given to the world in written form for the first time as a Divyank, Divyank ratio, Divyank rectangle, Divyank ratio, Divyank sequence, Divyank infinity, everything. Let's accept. Now with this new research in physics, chemistry and biology would bring much better results for the world one by one. And this whole information I have put into this as a saransh or as a summary for people to remember. I can use it more often to show this knowledge as a concept itself. This is a constant which I am talking about, which is symbolic in nature. Now I am bringing another concept to prove 1.6180 is phenomenal by itself. The first design I have put is one put picture of 100 into 161.8034. Within the first square of 100, I converted that into 21 circles of equal numbers. You can see it very clearly. This is what solar system is, made of 21 parts. Each cell is made of 21 parts. Let's leave it at that. To go beyond the solar system, you need to take one part, which is 22nd step. You can see it very clearly. This is the first orbit of 22 by 21 is the first stage of creation, which is Brahmank. And you can see it very clearly. This is where you go beyond the solar system. That is what the Upanishads are talking about. Solar system can be divided into 21 parts. To go beyond the solar system, you need to take 22 steps. And that is what I am talking about. When I talk about 22 in incarnation, mean I've taken that kind of levels of consciousness. That's it. Then you go to the second stage, put another orbit of 22 by 21. Then you go to another one, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. You have come to a stage, you are very close to the Divyank rectangle. But there is little space, not enough for the 11th one, just little bit. This is what also I would say, string theory is made of 11 dimensions, is not true. String theory should be made of 10.34419 only. 10.34419 into 10.34 is equivalent to 108. Again a mystery, declassified. So this is what I've come to the next stage. It is 10.34419. And that's it. That shows how a mathematical design can also be converted into yantra form and made to look perfect from moment 1 to moment last. That's it. Next, same representation I put into this as a graphic representation, which I can use as a symbol of this 10 plus stages of development. First was 22 by 21 is first stage of development, the generation. These are 10 stages of operation or development. So we have both. Now we'll go to the next stage. How did I get to the third stage of Shivank? Is something which no one in the world has ever done before. Information of 22 by 21 is there in Vedas Upanishads. 10 stages of development as a Dasavar is well known. Surya's light going in 10 directions is known. Gayatri's 10 arms are known. Gayatri's 5 heads are known, Panchabhutas. Shiva's Panchabhutas are known. What is the divine number of these numbers? was not at all known. But I am glad my book Akhand, an Essence of Universal Consciousness, talks of 22 by 21 to the power of 10 in 2002. But to come to this stage of Divyank as such, it took me another almost 14 years to realize the beauty. Or if you take 95, the first step of learning, it took me another 20 years to come to this number. You can imagine 20 years of contemplative meditation, then only got this number, because you have to be fit enough to be in tune with universal consciousness. It takes time. But split personality people are not given time, and they also do not know how to handle. They get into problem. But I, being a medical doctor, I knew very well there is nothing wrong in it. I have the intelligence within me. It is intelligence which is telling me I'm not split. I'm not suffering from psychosomatic disorders. That is again something which I want to make it very clear. So how did I do that? With the help of my professor Govindarajulu, who was a statistician in Madras Medical College when I was doing my PhD, and also in Chettinad University he was a statistician. We sat together for 2 days because I had the number of 1.618034 clearly. Now I needed to do what could be the digits, 5 digits, and with the help of his help and my thing, sitting together on computer, by different commutation we found it is 0.3334419 is the number. When they add it together is also 21. We come back to the origin. This is not a mystery. This is a divine plan. Divine doesn't take even single mystery because he's a super intelligent person, and that is what we are also capable of doing, provided we do believe, we start using. But unfortunately most of us use only 1% or 2% of the brain potential. Einstein used 11% and became a greater scientist, and I'm trying to use 100%. No wonder I can produce 8 Hz frequency, predominant, coherent throughout the brain, with eyes open, anywhere and everywhere, which no one in the world has done till date. This is another point which shows if you are in tune with Antaratma, you are intelligent, you use entire brain effectively, mathematical on one side and descriptive on other side and designer other side. Then only you reach that level of consciousness. You got to be multi-dimensional. You should be walking, talking encyclopedia. I have done that. Having done that, I could perceive this number very clearly. Now, having done that, forming Divyank as 22 by 21 to the power of 10, adding 0.34419 and going to this number was in 2015 done, and the result, I realized the first stage of creation is God, and godly things were known very well to me. I think that was a phenomenal thing for the world. With that knowledge, we are going to see the world in new, divine, impeccable wisdom, A to Z. And then same thing I converted into graphic presentation. In this is again something which I want the world to understand. We need graphic presentation, which in mathematics is converted into graphic, not words, which are confusing, so that we can translate from this to other languages without any ambiguity of nature. So entire knowledge is for all the languages of the entire world, for every student, irrespective whichever thing. This is done for the love of uniting humanity into one, which is called Vasudev Kutumbam. The thought which came from Vedas, we want the world to say we are one family. We are not dividing into religion, concept, race, otherwise. That's it. Now, taking this to this particular stage is another thing which I call Akhand, and since this is also something which will be explained step by step, much more in detail. Then finally bringing into this picture is the real merging of the Western mathematical design of staff of Mercury with the ancient symbol of Divyank from one side, and improvised with mathematical design of the highest order by me is in this. I think it's enough for the day. If you are able to understand this, I think we have now ground for taking it to the chemistry level and other levels, so that we can start applying research from mathematics to the physics, chemistry, biology for the world's integration by and large. And I think that's enough. Thank you very